My name is Aimee Connolly, and today Get the Gloss have challenged me to do my hashtag Get the Gloss in 7. So I have 7 minutes, I'm setting up my timer as we speak, to recreate. I'm going to do summer skin and a red lip, as many layers as I can basically in the time that I have, and fingers crossed I get it all done. I've got my timer here ready to go. I'm going to set it for 7 minutes. I'm going to click start and off we go. Right, I've already lost 3 seconds. So I'm going to start with my Beauty Base Pearl. So I am the founder of Sculpted by Aimee. We are a cosmetics brand and we love multi-purpose beauty heroes that make your makeup easier. So you'll notice today that I'm using a lot of products that are doubling up as other things. This is my SPF 30 primer. You can see it gives a glow to the skin. It's just so nice. And it has hyaluronic acid in it, which for me is essential for hydration. I'm going to go on to my under eye concealer next. I'm going to take a bit of liquid. This is called our Brighten Up, because really I believe in this area on the skin we just need to brighten. So I'm going to take my ring finger and I'm going to dot this in. You can also use a brush if you want. Sometimes I love the heat of my hand for these kind of delicate areas so you're not overdoing it. You're not creating any lines that weren't there in the first place. But you'll notice that I'm bringing it down to the tip of my cheekbone, because when I apply my base I'm going to bring it up to meet that, and I'm not going to put my foundation or my skin enhancer on top of it. I'm going to let the concealer do the work on its own, and then that layer of skin won't be too heavy and won't crease up on me, because that is not what we want. So next I am going for my essential summer skin base. This is my Tint and Glow. This is a skin enhancer, so it's like a lightweight kind of tinted moisturizer coverage, and it has an actual radiance going through it. So you'll notice that I'm buffing it onto the skin, bringing it up to meet that under eye concealer, but not going on top of it, which can be really hard not to do if you're someone who's used to bringing your foundation all the way up. But blending, 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 I'm kind of fire blending on my face to get it on quickly. But as you can see, it really evens out the skin. It honestly just lifts and radiates and makes you look so much more awake and fresher. I absolutely love it. But I do like my coverage in certain areas. I'm going to take a pot concealer this time. This is our complete cover up. I'm going to whack that into areas where I want a little bit more coverage. So you'll notice that this concealer is a bit different to my liquid. It's like set in a pot, so it's going to give you coverage. So you can see how it's really smoothed out those areas, which will be porous. I'm just checking out my time. Okay, 4 minutes 40 seconds left. So you can see how I've upped my coverage, and I love that. That for me is the best thing about summer skin or any skin all year round. Wear a light base, increase your coverage with your concealer, and it means that you don't need to put on a super heavy base all over when you just don't need it. I'm going to set with our Velvet Veil powder. This is talc free, contains hyaluronic, and literally blurs the skin. It is so fine. Look at the difference there between those sides. So when something doesn't contain talc, it's not very weighty, so it's so fine. So it means you can have powder and set areas that you want, but it won't look super matte or drying on the skin, but then you're covering any areas that are likely to get sweatier or oilier throughout the day. So in keeping with our summer skin, I'm going to go for cream bronze. I typically like to apply my cream bronzer a little bit higher than I would my powder, because I want to make sure it's cutting into my face to lift the complexion. So I'm basically finishing up at my cheekbone rather than aiming down. So I always find creams tend to kind of blend and move that little bit easier than powders. So by going that little bit higher, you're sculpting your cheekbone in an easier way. I'm going to take a cream highlight next. I'm going to tap this onto the tips of my cheekbones. So essentially this is where you want the light to hit, where you're mimicking the sun. This is my glow, and then my bronzer is just underneath. So this is giving me definition, and then this is giving me glow. Again, it's a cream consistency, tapping out my finger. You'll notice I use a lot of my fingers for these kind of products because it's just so easy. So easy. Continuing with cream, this is our full face edit. So it literally is your one-stop palette for eyes, cheeks and lips. So the cream tint in the center is an absolute go-to for me when it comes to blush, and I also love it into the center of the lip also, which hopefully I'll have time to show you. Okay, I'm staying with this palette. I need an eye brush. Eye brush, please. As I say to myself, I'm going to take the bronzer. I'm going to pop this into the crease of my eye, blending back and forth, nice and simple. This is one of my favorite things to do, is take your bronzer and pop it onto the eyelid. It's also a great tip for all eye shapes. A lot of people would say to me, oh, I've got a hooded eye or a deep set eye. Can you give me any specific tips? There's a lot of kind of layers to makeup that would apply to any shape, and this is definitely one of them. So taking that kind of mid-tone and blending it all over. I'm going to take the gold powder highlight. I'm going to pop a little bit on into the center of my eye to give the eyes a bit of lift. Again, it's that goldy tone, so it's going to really suit blue eyes. Actually, it suits everyone really, but particularly blue. And now I'm taking that matte brown shadow in the palette. What am I at? And I'm popping this into my lash line. So keeping it nice and tight. And I'm just doing a small little extension with the brush to the corners of my eye. The best thing about this when it's powder is you can literally remove anything you want, or take your flat brush and clean up, and it's gone. Wipe away, gone in seconds. So if you fear the thoughts of a flick liner or just doing a little wing on yourself, shadow is definitely way less stressful. And do you know what? I think I actually kind of prefer it. I think nowadays people are very much on board with this 2021 makeup look of softer extensions at the sides. I'm going to do a little bit of that just into the corner. Don't like anything too heavy. We want to give ourselves that little bit of definition. Okay, what am I at? I don't have a lot of time left. I'm going to brush my brows through. They were recently done, and obviously because I'm very naturally blonde on top, I'm not going to do much else to them. I'm going to leave them as they are. What I am going to do though is do a red lip. This is our lip duo, so it's got a lipstick and a lip liner on one, and I'm going to focus on the lip liner. It's quite hard to see because you do this. So I'm going to go for red. I love glowy, dewy skin and red on the lips. I think it's so summery, but yet you can wear it in any season. And I'm going for a blue toned red, which basically means it's going to help to make your teeth look whiter. 20 seconds, stop laughing at me. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup, a hoary finish. Literally on 10-second countdown. Okay, going into my concealer, 9 seconds. Sharpen up. Take my hydrating hold, 3 seconds. Okay. And there we have it. 7 minutes. Glowing skin. Just use lip liner for red lips. Do you know what? Sometimes I love doing that because it's a little bit drier than a lipstick, so it can have a little bit more of a longevity to it as well. I've got a subtle tone of pink on the cheeks because I love blusher. I couldn't be without it. A softly elongated eye, summery skin, glow basically everywhere in 7 minutes. I am pretty impressed. I did not think I'd get that much on. You know, some lines looking maybe not as even as others. But thank you so much to Get the Gloss for having me. My name is Aimee Connolly, founder of Sculpted by Aimee, and this is my hashtag Get the Gloss in 7.